want to take you now out as our team coverage continues to Atlanta News First reporter Patrick Quinn. And Patrick, outside of the President Carter's presidency, his time in the naval office, he also spent much of his life being a humanitarian for the world. And part of that is what you were talking about today. Tell us where you are right now.
We're along Carter Way, and this is in southeast Atlanta, and you can see the street sign just behind me there. And this is an area of southeast Atlanta that now Habitat for Humanity and Atlanta Habitat, they've built houses, an entire community. Of course, building houses, and Habitat for Humanity was a huge project for both former President Jimmy Carter and his wife Rosalind Carter. Listen to some of these stats. They helped work with more than 108,000 volunteers building homes. They built and helped repair roughly 5,000 homes in 13 different countries. So this was something that they were very passionate about, and certainly that legacy will continue here. Certainly along Carter Way, there's a few homes that were just built in the last year or so. We're going to talk with one of the homeowners here in a couple hours. She was thrilled to talk about the legacy of Jimmy Carter and her now living on Carter Way here in southeast Atlanta. Maria?
And Patrick, I know that, when President Carter left office, he said he doesn't intend to take a backseat. He wants to continue to be involved in his community right here in Georgia. And that extended to global servitude, even taking on guinea worms. Talk to me a little bit about Habitat for Humanity and how that started to branch out on an international scale.
It's been really tremendous, the legacy that he and his wife have built. And we even saw that in some of the comments from soon-to-be President Trump. And he talked about just how much that Jimmy Carter gave after he left office. And I was down in Plains right after Rosalind Carter died. And that is something that so many people there really highlighted is they probably had a bigger legacy after they left the White House than they did in the White House, and they had a tremendous impact when they were in the White House. So that says a lot. But for Habitat, yeah, I was able to talk with them today here in Atlanta, and they said yes. Obviously, all that he did with his hands and the construction and the repairing and the building, and yeah, we've all seen the images of him shortly after surgery. He was out volunteering hours, and I mean, those images are lasting. But they said that what he did for the organization and just the reputation and the perception of building homes and home ownership and the struggle that so many feel and acquiring an affordable house and the attention that he gave and that Rosalind Carter gave to this effort, they said that that's maybe even more impressive than the actual work that he did with his hands. It's just the attention and the space that he helped give to this effort. We've seen this on a number of issues that the Carters were just ahead of their time on. I mean, they got ahead of affordable housing before people really felt that on a day-to-day basis. Now we talk about affordable housing. We see the efforts from different municipalities and cities and nonprofits, and it's an all-hands-on-deck kind of approach. But the Carters were ahead of that. In the same way that Rosalind Carter was ahead of her times in addressing mental health. Now that we're so much more comfortable talking about mental health and a lot of resources that go towards that. But certainly Habitat for Humanity, Atlanta Habitat, building homes, helping people just acquire, be a first-time homeowner. That was something that he was really passionate about. Even into his late 80s, 90s. I mean, this was something that he was really committed to. I mentioned those numbers. He worked with 108,000 different volunteers building homes. That was over a 30-year stretch. So this was not something that he did time and again. This was something that he was really dedicated to. Maria?
Atlanta News First reporter Patrick Quinn joining us as we talk about Jimmy Carter's humanitarian work. Patrick, thank you so much. This is definitely a legacy that will continue.